This week on World Stories. The struggle against plastic waste in São Tomé and Principe. Violence against homosexuals in Russia. We start in India, where a third of the population can't read or write. Though every child has a legal right to education, literacy is especially low among girls from poorer segments of society.
Sadiya Khan has already been in class the entire day, but she's still eager for more. Hardly anything can stop this 13-year-old from pursuing her love of learning.
I think that studies are very important for everyone, so I love to come to school. If I'm tired, if I get a fever, if I'm also sick, so that time also come to school.
The first time she went to school was 7 years ago in a village just outside India's capital, New Delhi. She got there thanks to Literacy India, an organization that helps underprivileged children who would otherwise not be in school. The organization focuses particularly on young girls. Sadiya represents what can happen when these kinds of challenges are overcome. She lives walking distance from the school and shares a room with her parents and sister. The family doesn't have a lot of money, and neither parent received much of an education. For her mother, Raveena, school was never an option growing up. But today, she feels her lack of education limits what she can do and wants a different life for her daughters. I feel very sad that I'm not educated. If only I had just a little bit of schooling. But now when I want to use the phone, I need to wait for my children or my husband to help. And there are lots of things like that I have to think about. Sadiya's father, Azim, dyes clothes for a living. But business is slow right now. The machines he usually works with are barely in use. Azim doesn't have the qualifications to change professions easily. So he sees Sadiya's education as a potential opportunity for the entire family. If she studies and makes something of herself, then it will be to our benefit. Our life will change, and so will hers. There will definitely be change, and it will be good. The signs are promising. Sadiya already uses what she's learned to help her father with things he used to struggle with, like taking orders or writing bills. And Sadiya's recent admission to a more established school is also a major step, one she hopes will help her achieve her dream of becoming a doctor or a journalist.
Tens of thousands of young refugees have come to Germany in recent years. Though they would like to, many have trouble getting to know Germans their own age. A musical project wants to help strangers become friends.
The last rehearsals before opening night. Flying High is turning these teens into singers, actors, and friends.
I've made new friends. That was really great for me. I didn't really know anyone before. We rehearse just once a week. And when I'm here, I forget the whole world. I'm just here with my friends.
Maher is 18, Zina is 17. 2 years ago, Maher arrived in Germany alone from Syria. Zina is German and has lived in Berlin for 8 years. For her, the musical provides a creative balance to her preparations for high school graduation exams. The teens have been rehearsing together for half a year. They developed the musical from their own ideas. The plot, a peaceful people is attacked. Hostages are taken and adventures ensue. Director Todd Jonathan Fletcher wrote the script based on the teens' ideas and composed the songs. He's been working with youth for 30 years.
My aims are to show the kids that they're capable of more than they ever imagined possible. These people who have ended up in Europe, who've come from somewhere else, can contribute, not just be here, not just be integrated in the easy sense of the word integrated, but contribute, which is beyond integration. And I think that's what people want to do.
Then, a quick costume check. The performers even sewed their own outfits. Maher and Zina, like the others, are doing all this in their free time, and often for the first time.
For this particular project, the art is a means to an end. And so we've strangely achieved that goal of integration and bringing people together, and we now have to still keep working on the means, because of course it would be nice if the musical works out, and I'm sure it will, but it's not really about that.
For Todd Fletcher, this project is much more about bringing teenagers together, helping them discover new perspectives, and sharing them with the wider world.
Finally, free!
Plastic waste is a major problem for the small African island state of Tomé and Principe. Environmentalists want to change that and encourage the inhabitants to collect plastic waste.
Dia fui na praça, na cidade de Santo Antônio. Aí encontrei uma miúda, chamei por ela, de repente eu deparei.
Taking it easy is a way of life on Principe. But they're definitely not taking the easy road when it comes to protecting the environment. 24-year-old Selena Fernandez has a big day ahead.
Bom dia.
Good morning. I've come for your plastic bottles. Today's collection day. Have you got them already?
As garrafas estão prontas.
Recycling plastic has become a major activity on the island, and young and old are getting in on the action. The collection depot will be busy the entire day. The routine is get in line and be patient. Celine Fernandez is helping out with the counting. She works in the Biosphere Reserve team. She says most of the plastic bottles arriving on the island contain palm oil for cooking. By holding collections every few months, the team has gathered up 450,000 bottles. For every 50, they hand out a reusable container made of stainless steel.
We have 4 tons of plastic stored on the main island of São Tomé. A maritime transport company is helping us by taking it to Lisbon free of charge. 2 recycling companies there will receive it.
Mass tourism hasn't yet come to the island, and that's the way they want to keep it. But the locals also need jobs. So the idea is to upcycle the island's waste, 70% of which is organic. These women are making commercial compost. It's a new venture on the island and it's hard work. The compost beds need to be turned 3 times a week.
Plastic. That's bad.
The women are aiming to sell their first compost in 3 months. They've already approached potential clients, and they hope all their hard work will eventually pay off. Principe Island, certainly not taking the easy way.
Finally, we turn our gaze to Russia, where violence against homosexuals, both in public and in private, has long been an issue. One courageous young woman has stood up to it.
They were running around school screaming that I'm a damn lesbian and that I should die. Their homophobia was reason enough to attack me. When I started dancing, I met people I knew I'd feel comfortable with. Most of them are either bisexual or lesbian. It gives me a feeling of freedom. My mother was really upset when she found out. She cried a lot.
It was a shock for us. I'll admit, I even felt a physical aversion. My God, is my daughter a monster or a freak? I certainly felt uneasy about it. And what will people say? There are people who can never find out. You can't even hint at it.
I can see that she wants to understand me, but she can't. My parents were brought up in the Soviet Union.
This year we went on a trip to Greece and went to an island where there was a monastery and pilgrims. One woman went down on her knees and crawled to the monastery. I was surprised. Maybe she wanted God to help her heal someone. And then I thought to myself, if someone told me to get down on my knees and crawl, and then my daughter would be just like everyone else, I would do it.
When I was 14, my classmates and some of the kids at school found out. They spat at me, hit me with their heavy backpacks filled with books, beat me up and insulted me. I freaked out. I cried because I was so scared. I thought my life was over. Homosexual relationships are seen as degrading here. People react really aggressively to them. If I realize at some point that I just can't live here anymore, I'll have to find a way to leave.